Now, the United States and Somalia have restored diplomatic relations for the first time in more than 20 years. After meeting with President Barack Obama and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton yesterday, Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud spoke to viewers English to Africa's reporter Mariama Diallo. He said the official recognition of the state of Somalia by the U.S. is very significant and will have a great impact as each nation moves forward.
Thank you, Mariam. It has a lot of impact on us in the near future. Somalia was a country that was not recognized by the international community for the past 22 years. And the last time when the United States was having an effective relationship with Somalia was early 1990s. Now, my government was established inside Somalia, and it has a local legitimacy with our people, of course, but we also need an international legitimacy and recognition, and the recognition from the United States is very, very significant for that purpose. Somalia to go back to the world communities, we need the acceptance of the international community, and we have number of recognition from other countries, but the one of today, that what has happened today here in Washington, whereby the United States government recognizes the Somali government, is a turning point of the recent history of Somalia. This will open us many doors. It will encourage many more countries to recognize Somalia government so that we will have a full international recognition. There are many countries that are looking at the United States. What's the position of the United States now? This was a great day.
Among other things, the move allows Somalia's new leaders to regain international assistance as they fight al-Qaeda-affiliated terrorists. Once again, here's Scott Stearns of the State Department.
African peacekeepers are patrolling the streets of Mogadishu, helping secure the capital for a new government bent on overcoming decades of chaos after the collapse of Siad Barre's rule in 1991. At the State Department, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud marked the restoration of formal ties. President Mohamud says it's the start of a new era.
Somalia is emerging from a very long, difficult period, and we are now moving away from the chaos, instability, extremism, piracy, to an era of peaceful and development.
Secretary Clinton called the occasion a testimony to Somali determination.
The people and leaders of Somalia have fought and sacrificed to bring greater stability, security, and peace to their nation. There is still a long way to go and many challenges to confront. But we have seen a new foundation for that better future.
As President Mohamud's government restores services, including education, health care, and public safety, Somali refugees are beginning to return home from camps in Kenya. Forces loyal to the new government fought alongside African peacekeepers to drive back Islamist militants of the al-Shabaab group. For now, President Mohamud still relies heavily on African peacekeepers to keep al-Shabaab at bay. But Secretary Clinton said the international community will continue to back efforts to combat the al-Qaeda affiliates.
The terrorists, as we have learned once again in the last days, are not resting, and neither will we. We will be very clear-eyed and realistic about the threat they continue to pose.
Jennifer Cook at the Center for Strategic and International Studies says President Mohamud faces serious challenges.
He's still working within a political and a security context that is going to be extremely difficult. Yes, Shabaab is being pushed out of some of the big areas, but Shabaab doesn't need to do a whole lot to disrupt things in a big way in Mogadishu.
Cook says President Mohamud's government is untainted by the corruption of its predecessors, but he must still navigate the factionalism and clan patronage of Somali politics.
He's an individual working within a political context, and so although there is an opportunity here, there's a lot that he has to do within a very narrow time frame to establish himself, his credibility, and the credibility of the institutions that he works within.
Restoring diplomatic ties means Somalia can establish new relationships with U.S. development agencies and with international financial institutions, including the World Bank. Scott Stearns, VOA News, the State Department.